Hello friends, in this video we will see three very important rules following which you can answer any HR question asked in the interview. So here we go. Among those three rules, rule number 1 is there is no right answer or wrong answer. Now what do I mean by this? There are many types of questions asked in HR interviews. There are fixed questions like how much salary you are expecting, what are your strengths, what is your weakness, or there are behavioral questions like are you a team player, or what will you do, how can you handle stress, such kind of questions. Or there will be some situation reactions questions. They will put you under some situation and they will ask you, okay, how will you respond in that situation, and etc etc. So there are different types of questions asked in HR interviews. For any such discussion, for any such HR question, there will be no fixed answers or there will be no fixed list. For example, let us take the question, what is your weakness? Now for this question, you cannot expect an interviewer to have a 10 or 15 list of weaknesses. Only if you pick from that weakness will you get a job? No, it is nothing like that. There will be no fixed answers. There will be no only one or other answer for any question. So keeping this in our mind, we should frame our answer in such a way, believing that whatever I say, if I justify it properly, that will be considered as an answer by an interviewer. This thought is very important. Hence, the learning from this discussion is, you should never think that I don't know this answer for any HR question asked. It is then and there itself that you have to frame an answer. If you get a question, even you did not hear about that question before also. So that brings us to rule number 2. Rule number 2 is add justification to every answer. Now what do I mean by justification? Justification means giving proper explanation for why is that right answer. Whatever I said, why is that right answer? For example, what are your strengths is the question. For that question, if you said, I am optimistic, there will be no proper justification without adding an example or experience to it. So it becomes now your responsibility that you give proper example, preferably from your recent past, or you can give an experience where you were optimistic, so that you can convince the interviewer with your proper picked explanation. Now this you should have, we suggest at least you should have three such positive incidents or examples or experiences for at least 3 such adjectives. For example, first, you are a team player. Second, you are optimistic. You are a smart worker. For example, let us these 3 adjectives suit your personality. Now you should have 3 different examples from your recent past. If you are doing your graduation, please don't pick an example from your schooling. Please don't pick an example from your junior intermediate. Pick an example from very recent, maybe a project you have done in your graduation, maybe an internship which you have done during your graduation. Pick such examples, or maybe a sport which you have played. So such examples will justify your answer. And without proper justification given, there will be no end, a positive end to that discussion. So it is your responsibility that you tell the answer and also provide proper justification to every question, not to leave any gap. Right? Now, one more very important thing which you have to understand here is, remember, you are telling or you are picking an example from your past which happened to you before. But at this point in time, when you are saying that past example, interviewer will be thinking of future. You are telling about your past, but interviewer is thinking in future. For example, you said, as I told you, I am optimistic. Now interviewer is thinking about, okay, in future, will he be optimistic based on the example given? So you are thinking in past, interviewer is thinking in future. So this explains you why this question is asked. I hope I have given proper explanation for this. If you have any doubts, you can also post in a comments. Next, that brings us to our final rule, that is end every answer on a positive note. Ending every answer on a positive note. What do I mean by this? Many times interviewers will put you in a situation which is either very negative or which you are not comfortable handling. For such discussions, you have to ensure that you start positively and end positively. So it is not only about ending positively, but it is about sandwiching positive between very less negative, and again you should be positive. I am saying this for negative questions asked. For example, if they ask you, tell me something negative about your internship, which you had in your internship experience. Tell me something negative about your college. Tell me what your friends think about you negatively in your absence. For such negative questions, for such negative discussions, yes, it is important that you say very small negatives, but please ensure that you speak positive first. For example, a question is, tell me what your friends think negatively in your absence about you. Then you have to start with a positive discussion. You have to tell them how good friends you have, what best impressions they have about you, and what is your way of looking at friends positively. Then come to small negatives, because a question is very specifically about what negative things your friends think about it. Tell a silly thing or a very small thing which doesn't affect your selection, and again at the end also cover it up saying positively, like, however, my friends know how much I love them. So there are some silly misunderstandings which we go through during our tenure in friendship. So cover it up with some positive again. So this way of thinking is very, very important. That is where I told you, end every answer or end every discussion on a positive note. However, the negative a question or a situation may come to you, try to end with a positive hope. If they ask a question like, what will you do if you don't get selected in this job? For such kind of discussions also, first you can say, sir, I think I have done well to come all the way here. I presume that I will not get rejected if everything goes well, like it happened till now in this selection process. That is a positive statement. But because the question is about negative happening, then you can say, well, I will again go back and think where I went wrong, where it went wrong. But definitely, again, this is a negative statement again. But again you add a but to that what you said, negative what you said. Again you will say a positive. But I really feel I have done well and I still have strong chances of getting selected. So you are giving them positive hope. So answer like this so that you will get selected even if a negative question comes to you. So these are the 3 rules which you have to remember, guys. Ensure that you follow these 3 rules. These 3 rules always should go in your mind while you sit in an interview chair, and think of these 3 points and then frame your answer. I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you have any doubts regarding this video, you can leave a message in the chat box. Thank you for watching this video.